Nick Rowley, YouTube's Darkest Videos 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now arriving our...
Do you think he gets recommended these videos, or do you think he finds them himself? Because I feel like YouTube has so many fucking videos that are uploaded constantly. There's no way he could just comb the internet.
On the morning of March 22nd, 2024, the Kern County Sheriff's Office was flooded with calls about an incident that had taken place near the Wasco Amtrak station in Wasco, California. The incident involved a pedestrian who was reportedly walking dangerously close to an active train track before being struck by an oncoming locomotive, a situation that authorities knew was likely unsurvivable. Police arrived at the scene shortly after 8 a.m. and were met with the bloody aftermath of the accident, as they found 48-year-old Horacio Ayala Penoza deceased on the tracks, with the force of the impact being so strong that his body was torn apart and scattered all throughout the area. At first, it was believed to have been a clear-cut suicide, but after interviewing some of the witnesses, police learned that
the amount of people that walk into oncoming trains is insane, man. Like, I don't know if there's any countermeasures to fix that, because it's like, even if you get rid of that method, there's still other ways that people are going to try and take their own life. But I don't know, dude. I don't want to say like they should have employees that kind of just like hover train stations and wait to see it. Like, because I don't want to say you can tell, but a lot of the time, like, they're hovering like the wall of the train. Like, they're almost already just waiting for it to come in versus like sitting back by a bench.
Never stepped in front of the train, and rather he had actually been sucked.
No, it's so sad, but it's like, what do you do?
Police learned that the man had never stepped in front of the train, and rather he had actually been sucked underneath as a result of walking too closely, painting a clearer picture that this was all a tragic accident. But as police were conducting these interviews, one strange detail kept coming up, as apparently Horatio wasn't the only one on the tracks around the time of the incident, with there allegedly having been one other man standing nearby, a man who took off shortly after Horatio had been killed. And strangely, witnesses believe they saw the man reach down and pick something up before leaving. For the officers on the scene, finding this man became the next obvious order of business. But by this point, he had already found himself a few blocks away, where he was spotted by a group of construction workers. The group watched as the man walked towards them, appearing to hold some sort of large item in one of his hands, the same item that had been taken from the train tracks. And the closer he got, the clearer it became what exactly this thing was. It was a human leg.
He took okay, so he didn't push the guy, but he took the leg of the guy and left? Like, he saw him get hit by a train and then stole his leg? He's just holding it in his hand?
For some inexplicable reason, when the train had dismembered Horatio, this man had run over and picked up his leg, and he was now waving that leg on the sidewalk of a nearby road, with the construction crew claiming that he had been banging it against the fence as he walked towards them, and at one point had even struck the leg against one of their machines. Upon the realization, a wave of fear washed over the group, as they were unsure what this man had done to get this leg, or what he would do next. Though that was something that even the wildest of imaginations could have,
like, from their point of view, they thought this guy probably killed somebody.
Never predicted.
He's eating that. Hey, viendo.
As the man looked down at the leg and began eating it, as the workers watched on in horror. Officers are...
Yo, like, what would this guy have done this day if the one dude didn't get hit by the train? Like, this guy was just, like, hovering the train station, acting like a normal person before this.
I've done the scene immediately after this, and when they asked the man what he was doing with the leg, he explained that it belonged to him, and that he was taking it to a nearby hospital to have it reattached. But it was obvious to everyone there that this man wasn't missing any of his legs, with the officers having to go as far as to prove it to him by making him roll up the sleeves of his pants and touch both of his legs. His explanation was completely nonsensical, and obviously didn't account for the fact that he was literally eating the leg just minutes before, leading to officers immediately placing him under arrest. His name was Resendo Tea.
You know what's so weird is, like, do we, like, in the U.S. legal system, there's a crime that applies to this. What is the name of that? Eating a human, like, body part? Like, what is the, like, stealing a limb from someone? Like, what is the... Yeah, it's cannibalism, but I'm saying, like, chat, it's beyond that. It's like he took someone's debt. I feel like it's not like grave robbery, but like if somebody dies, you can't just like steal their body.
Been experiencing homelessness and had been living on a street near the train tracks, with police determining that he did in fact have nothing to do with the actual death of Horatio. He just so happened to be near the tracks at the time, where he would first witness the accident, and then for some unknown reason, take Horatio's leg and start eating it. It appears as though this was the result of a combination of both drugs and alcohol.
Oh no, dude, yeah, fucking dude. He's probably on fucking bath salts.
He was found carrying narcotics when he was taken into custody, and he had just been captured by security cameras purchasing alcohol at a nearby liquor store just hours before the incident. But what's so interesting about this footage is just how normal Rosendo seems. In fact, the people working there knew him quite well, as he stopped in almost daily, where he was described as being polite and ordinary, including on the day of that incident. In fact, it's said that at first the shop owners didn't believe that Rosendo could have possibly done this, but it seems that whatever substances he had taken that day had changed him. Rosendo Tejas was charged with 2 counts of removal of human remains, and one—
See, that's the fucking— I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that, like, I agree that should be a crime, but it's like removal of human remains. They had to add that, because there's been a situation where somebody's done this before.
Count of destroying or concealing evidence, as well as resisting a police officer, and was sentenced to 1 year in prison after pleading no contest, bringing this absurd case to an end. However, his unsettling behavior will forever live on in one of YouTube's darkest videos.
I want to know, like, dude, I hate that we just glance by. Now we're moving on to the next one. I know it's only a year, chat. I want to know why the fuck he ate the leg. Like, or picked it up, even, to begin with. Like, I understand he's homeless and he's on drugs, but, like, what motivated you to be like, oh, I just watched a guy die right in front of my eyes. I'm going to go steal his body part and eat it. He was hungry? Bro, it's not that. There's no way that he was hungry. He had money to buy alcohol. He had a wad of cash.
It was just past 10 p.m. Safely tucked away in her second-story apartment, 20-year-old Hannah Vivaretti set up her phone to record a video of herself dancing. For her, this was a meditative practice, a way of unwinding after a long, stressful day, and to truly feel at peace. But that day, fate had other plans. As Hannah was dancing, something off camera caused her to stop dead in her tracks and yell, "Who are you?" It was a man whom Hannah had never seen before, standing in the doorway of her balcony, which again was on the second floor.
What the fuck? So he got, oh my god, and the door's probably open if she's talking to him. So he climbed her balcony and was just staring through the window at her?
That man had climbed up, cracked open the door, and was now standing in her home staring at her, quietly muttering nonsensically with a big grin on his face.
Who are you? Who are you? Please get off.
Hannah stopped the music and again asked, "Who are you?" To which the man responded by saying,
Please get out. No, please get out. Are you sure? Yes.
But her demeanor and the panic in her voice.
Are you sure? Gotta be on drugs. I feel like she should have fucking just drop kicked the shit out of him. Like off the goddamn balcony, man. Like kick him the hell out, close the door.
Made it all too clear that this was far.
I would fight him. I think it's easier to say that though. Like I'm saying the same thing, but I think it's easier to say that than when you're actually in the moment where you're kind of just like startled like that. Like you don't really know how you're gonna react. You can say, oh, I would have just punched him in the face. But it's like, until you're actually in that situation where like you're dancing and then you just see a guy standing in your doorway, like you don't know what you're gonna do.
From the case.
Who are you?
I would grab my gun. Well, that's if you had it.
Please get out of my apartment right now.
She started to make her way over to her phone and then towards the front door. All the while, the man kept calmly insisting that they be friends. But Hannah was having none of it.
Please get out of my apartment right now.
Opening her front door and in the process,
get out. Get out.
Pointing the camera directly at the intruder, giving us our first and only glimpse of the man as he's standing still in the balcony doorway. And with her front door now open, she yelled at him to get out, loud enough for the neighbors to hear.
Get out.
which finally caused the man to retreat. As it turns out, Hannah did actually know who this man was, at least vaguely, as he lived in the same apartment complex, but he never actually spoke to her. He would always just stare and smile, making it apparent that he had some sort of sick interest in her.
Oh my god, what? So he thought that he was gonna, like, walk into the balcony and, like, climb. He thought he was gonna climb to her second floor balcony, walk inside, and she was just gonna be like, yeah, come in.
As for why he entered her home that night, it's fairly obvious that his intentions were incredibly sinister, with Hannah recalling that during the entire experience, his hands never left his hoodie pocket, making her wonder if he was holding onto some sort of weapon that he may have been planning to use on her. But thankfully, because of her swift reaction, we'll never truly know what he had planned that night. Days after the incident, police would arrest 36-year-old Angel Moses Rodriguez Gomez and charge him with stalking, second-degree assault, third and fourth-degree burglary, and malicious destruction of property. But surprisingly, shortly after his arrest, they allowed him to walk free on bail. And given that he lived in the same apartment complex as Hannah and clearly knew where she lived, this decision was incredibly controversial, with Hannah herself stating,
I mean, bro, incredibly controversial. Yeah, I think the apartment complex landlord, like, should at least evict him. You know, like, that should be a part of the ruling. If he's able to get released on bail, she should be able to get a restraining order on him, and he should have to leave. Like,
in an interview that, I just don't think it's fair that he's walking freely right now, and I have to watch my back at every angle. Thankfully, the court's decision would not lead to any further escalations in the case, and today Angel no longer lives in the country, but the footage is incredibly chilling.
Bro, he left the country.
Nonetheless, and it sent me down a rabbit hole of home invasion videos late the other night. And here on YouTube, I came across countless unsettling examples. One such example comes from Saratov, Russia, and shows a woman moments after being awoken by the sound of knocking as she lay in bed in her apartment. It was around 4:30 a.m., which was already unusual enough, but things became downright horrifying for her when she realized that the knocking wasn't coming from the door. It was coming from the window.
That is so fucking creepy. Yo, I am so fast grabbing a fucking hammer and whacking that motherfucker in the head.
Outside of her
Holy
window was
shit.
a man, banging his head against the glass over and over again. And equally as disturbing, this woman's unit wasn't on the first floor. She was 2 stories up, and she didn't have a balcony. Across the street, a neighbor filmed the incident as it happened, showing us that the man was standing on one of the building's gas pipes while he continued to strike the window. Eventually, these hits grew so forceful that the glass started to break, and his head began
Oh my god, he started bleeding?
bleeding profusely, finally leading to the man stopping, but not in the pursuit of entering the home.
Чё?
У него пена изо рта.
Слушай, это у дурачка пена изо рта, у него бешенство или чё? Ну, бля,
Where is this, Russia?
As he instead climbed to a different window where he attempted to peel it open with his fingers. But by this point, police had already arrived on the scene, and eventually the man would be forced down and placed under arrest. When looking for an explanation as to why this man was doing this, it appears that he was under the influence of bath salts during the ordeal.
Bro, that's what I say. That's what I said about the guy. Bro, I'm telling you, bath salts make people fucking crazy. I would bet that the other guy that ate the fucking human leg was also on bath salts. When you see motherfuckers on bath salts, they're climbing on cars, just breaking shit. Dude, they become animals when they're on... What is bath salts? It's not actual, like, Epsom salts. Like, when people say bath salts, they don't mean, like, the actual shit you get to, like, fucking bathe. You know, they're just called bath salts because they look like bath salts. The actual drug name is synthetic canthinones, a class stimulant drug in the khat plant. I think people chew khat as well in certain countries, like the khat leaf. Bath salts are powerful nervous system stimulants similar to cocaine, meth, and MDMA. Adverse overdose effects. The desired effects from bath salts are euphoria, increased alertness, physical activity, and sex drive. The adverse effects are agitation, confusion, acute psychosis, paranoia, hallucinations, violent and self-destructive behavior, panic attacks, high blood pressure, nausea, seizures, breakdown of muscle fibers, and kidney failure. An excited delirium, a syndrome characterized by psychosis, extreme agitation, violent behavior, dehydration, potential organ failure. Yeah, so it seems like a lot of downsides comparable to the ups.
But aside from this, I couldn't find any other information about the man's identity or whatever became of him. But I was able to find that this clip doesn't tell the entire story, as the woman behind the camera actually spoke to a local reporter and provided additional context to the ordeal, which
So this guy didn't know her, he just wanted to get into the house.
only made the story more terrifying. At first, he knocked with his hands. Then he began to peck at me at the window with his head for an hour and a half without...
An hour and a half? They didn't fucking show up? An hour and a half? I would have called the cops immediately. It took an hour and a half for the cops to show up?
stopping. After that, he started shouting my name to the whole yard.
Oh, so he did know her.
He was foaming at the mouth. His whole face was covered in blood, and he shouted that he wanted to talk to me, and he needed me. With the most terrifying part of the statement being that she had no idea who this man was, or how he could have even known her name. The idea of both of these intruder videos featuring people whom the victims had never even spoken to makes them especially unsettling, as it shows that you really never know who's watching and who might be obsessing over you. But incidents like this can be equally as chilling when the intruder is someone that you do know. Mohammed Amana was a 26-year-old man living in Orrefors, Sweden, and had been dating a woman named Maria. But after several run-ins with the law, Mohammed's lifestyle just became too much for her, and she eventually decided to end the relationship. This caused Mohammed to become enraged, an emotion that was only further heightened when he discovered that she was staying with a male friend of theirs. And on the 25th of May, he would show up at his doorstep and ask to speak to Maria. Inside, the male friend and Maria both refused to let him in and told him to leave, and for a moment,
But that's like a level of obsession, though. Like, you get broken up with, they move on, they're with another guy, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna pull up to their house. She'll let me in. We're gonna fix this. It's too far gone. You know, what the fuck are we doing?
and he did, though only temporarily, as he would return minutes later, this time armed with a ladder. And noticing what he was trying to do, the homeowner began recording on his cell phone.
Brother, he starts climbing the ladder. I'm pulling a Looney Tunes maneuver, and I am pushing the ladder until he falls on his fucking head. What? He sets up the ladder. I'm going, whoop, pushing it off. Three Stooges, brother. He's falling.
Though only temporarily, as he would return minutes later, this time armed with a ladder.
Flip the ladder. That's like a 30-foot ladder. You fucking kidding me?
And noticing what he was trying to do, the homeowner began recording on his cell phone.
Yeah, throw a brick at his head.
Vad gör du, Mohammed?
Not really a tall enough ladder. Not really a tall enough ladder. I think that, I don't know. I mean, you're gonna get to the top of the ladder, then when are you gonna jump?
Vad gör du?
The man behind the camera asks, "What are you doing? Are you going to fight me?" To which Mohammed said no, he just wanted to speak to Maria.
Tror du kommer upp här? Tror du kommer upp här?
As he said this, his demeanor was unsettlingly calm as he continues making his way up the ladder.
Mohammed, du kommer inte upp här. Du kommer inte in I mitt hem. Du kommer inte in I mitt hem, Mohammed.
I'm pushing his ass off the ladder, bro. I'm pushing his ass off the ladder.
So calm that the cameraman couldn't tell if Mohammed was a threat or not, though it wouldn't take long for him to get his answer.
Also, why is he using his hand? The guy that's pushing him off, I'm getting like a broomstick, you know? I'm getting a broomstick and I'm pushing his ass off.
Kommer inte in I mitt hem. Därför
Yeah, there we go.
Han sköt mig med en kniv.
In an instant, Mohammed struck the cameraman, causing him to retreat into his room, closing the sliding glass door just in time for Mohammed to step on the balcony and brandish a large kitchen knife.
En stor köttkniv. Såg ni det? Du, han krossar glaset med en sten.
Yo.
Still dazed by the attack, the man holding the camera retreated even further into the house, while Maria had already run into the bathroom and locked the door behind her, a door that Mohammed would quickly rush over to.
Oh my god, does he get stabbed?
Släpp in mig på dassen, han kommer in. Han kommer in, Maria. Mohammed, hugg du. Mohammed, du högg mig redan.
And desperately tried to open, even trying to use his knife to turn the lock, as that lock was the only thing standing in the way of what he was there to do.
It really upsets me he didn't push this guy off the ladder, like, really bad. Like, because he could have just fucking stopped that there and then. Like, he would have fucking... Dude, that would have knocked the fucking wind out of you. You would have broken his spine.
What exactly that was
Fucking falling 2 stories onto your back.
is unknown, as police would manage to arrive on the scene within minutes of this footage being taken, where they would arrest Mohammed before he was able to get to Maria. But it's clear based on the fact that he had a weapon on him and his desperate attempt to breach the house that he didn't just want to have a conversation. In the end,
It's weird, though, because it seems like he wanted to kill his ex-girlfriend rather than the guy.
the man filming was left with only minor cuts. Mohammed was sentenced to 2 years in prison, as well as a 10-year ban from the country of Sweden, leaving us with
Wow. Wow.
3 haunting videos of 3 disturbed intruders, whose true intentions
10-year ban from visiting a country.
will thankfully never be known.
Only 2 years? I mean, yeah, only 2 years, but he can't return to Sweden. Like, if he pulled up to Sweden, they would immediately arrest him. That's like an even more extreme version of a restraining order. Like, you just got exiled from the country.
Alright, hey folks, this is Noah, getting my blog live. Trucks and trucks and lots of trucks.
This is the very first footage that Noah Harpum would post to YouTube. After years of having a channel, Noah finally decided to give up.
Like, how are you finding this channel, bro? 52 subscribers? How does he even know about this story? Like, how does one find this? Like, it has to be like a fan submitting this.
Uploading a try, posting this inaugural video to a self-titled channel on October 29th, 2015, titling it 102915, video blog number 1, and introducing himself to the platform with a simple "Hello world" in the description.
No, but I did want to dissect just the beginning of a sermon given by a Pastor Bill, a guy that my dad has been following, taking ideas from for 10 years at least. He and his family, 2 kids.
In the video, Harpum paces throughout his home and discusses a priest named Pastor Bill, whom he believed was influencing his father and his family, and clearly not in a good way.
I've been ignorant of it for a long time.
You know what makes me know that this guy's unstable is this whatever fucking music this guy's listening to in the background while he's just recording himself talk about how he hates his dad's priest. Like that. What the fuck is that?
And clearly not in a good way.
I've been ignorant of it for
Who made that beat?
a long time. So I wanted to look at it, and I challenged him just to look at 15 minutes of this sermon.
Though he gives no context as to who this pastor is, only mentioning that he had been ignorant of the situation for a while, and that this video was his response after trying to expose the truth to his father.
Been waiting and waiting, and haven't heard anything. So I was going to just post my reply, and I guess that's how I'll start my blog.
Again, what this truth is unclear, as the lack of information makes this video a confusing watch, and ultimately it tells us very little about who Noah was, let alone the other people he was discussing. But he did end the clip by making it clear that this was only the beginning of what would be a reoccurring blog series that would showcase just him, his thoughts, and his camera.
The blog is just going to be me with a video camera, and that'll be it. We'll see what happens.
But before those uploads would come, Noah had pinned a website in his description that directed users to a blog post written by him that same day, titled, "Is My Dad in a Cult? Even worse, is it satanic?" Throughout the writing, Harpum loosely provides additional context for his video, as he breaks down a sermon given by Pastor Bill, who is shown to be Bill Johnson, a well-known preacher from the Bethel Church in Redding, California.
I also feel like Satanism is like fully not understood by the average person. Like, most people that are Satanists, I'm almost sure don't actually worship Satan. It's just the denial of Christianity and the mocking of religion as a whole.
Who had garnered a large following online, and despite the sermon being over an hour long,
like, they don't actually believe in the devil. They don't believe in anything. It's like a version of atheism. I gotta Google that, man. I feel like I watched a whole documentary about this shit, about how, like, Satanism started. Satanism. Satan is a symbol of individualism, rebellion, and enlightenment rather than actual devil worship. It's atheistic.
Harpum goes through it point by point.
Like, when people are like, they worship the devil, they're Satanists. I don't think anybody actually worships the devil. Because if you believe in the devil, you believe in God.
Critiquing everything that he said, and the more he typed, the more angry he got. And the more angry he got, the more nonsensical his words became. I'm attempting to present.
So you? No, because I don't worship. I don't use Satan as, I don't talk about Satan. You could say I'm more under the idea of atheism, but not atheistic, satanic, like Satanism.
A case that shows the leader of this prestigious institution, along with a select group of rulers, are using mind control techniques to poison and confuse legions of useful idiots that slave away to keep the institution humming along, and that this man, Pastor Bill Johnson, and his ruling caste are using mind control to keep people imbalanced and ignorant, in a state of perpetual.
Bro, this is insane. I mean, you could say that the pastor is using religion as a means to get donations for the church, but I feel like that's what he's saying, but he's saying it's through mind control. Pastors are preaching and also, yes, do funnel money out of people's pockets. Like, it was like tithing or whatever it's called, where you're supposed to give like a certain percentage of your income to the church. Like, that's a thing, but like, that's not through mind control.
Waiting for the material world to be defied, while they themselves are profiting immensely in this material world. The blog gives us a peek behind the curtain of the man shown in this video, a man who seems to be clearly mentally unwell, paranoid, and very angry, with the post making it clear that the purpose of Noah's content was to bring this pastor down, and video blog number 1 was supposed to be just the start. However, there would never be a video blog number 2. As just 2 days after posting this video, Noah's life would take a drastic turn.
Oh, God.
Colorado Springs 911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
It's at...
Repeat that one more time for me and make sure I have it correct.
Well, it's across the street from me. I'm calling from my address.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, there was a guy walking around with like 2 cans of gasoline or something, 2 small cans, and a big, like a rifle. It was black, and it had a strap around it. He's walking up to doors and stuff.
Oh, fuck.
At 8:35 a.m. on Halloween morning, a woman named Naomi Bettis called 911 after witnessing a suspicious man walking around her neighborhood in Colorado Springs, as she watched him carrying several cans of gas, as well as an AR-15 that was hung over his shoulder. She didn't know it at the time, but this man was her neighbor, Noah Harpham.
Bro, how did he get that gun? How did he get that gun? Like, bro, I feel like that's one thing for, like, gun licensing. You gotta take, like, there has to be, like, a definitive, like, a 2-hour sanity test for this shit. Like, how are you allowed to own that?
And then I seen that he walked into the building, and the glass window at that business is broke.
And that's a business? What's the name of the business?
I have no idea, but I just know I don't know if it's a fake gun, BB gun, but it looks pretty scary.
As the call progresses, Naomi explains that she had watched him enter a nearby business, where one of the windows appeared to have been broken. She wasn't sure if anything illegal had happened at this point, but she was convinced that Noah was up to something sinister, which based on what he had in his possession, seemed to be the only logical conclusion. However, this concern wasn't felt.
I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's a BB gun. If you're walking around with a black-tipped rifle, you could get arrested for that. Dude, I remember when I was a kid, that's why all fucking BB guns have orange tips. If you paint that black, that's illegal. You get arrested for that.
Felt by everyone.
Okay. And you said it looked like a long gun, correct? Like a rifle?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Well, it is an open carry state, so he can have a weapon with him or walking around with.
That's nuts. I gotta have the date. I'm not trying to make like a political standpoint right now. I think you having concealed carry or like carry and you have a gun, like a pistol or whatever, okay. But if you're allowed to just wander around with an AR on your back, why? What scenario? Like, why would you need an AR on your body? Like in a random, what the fuck?
But of course, having those gas cans, it does seem pretty suspicious, so we're going to keep the call going for.
Like, that's so different. Like, open carry holding an assault rifle is so different than, like, concealed carry having, like, a pistol in your car.
That.
Okay, and the window's broken to that business downstairs, so.
Right, and you said he's now upstairs, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And are you or anyone else in immediate danger?
No.
Like, what? That's not illegal? He's walking around with 2 cans of gasoline, looking indoors, holding a gun? What the fuck? That's so sketchy.
Okay.
As the operator seemingly brushed aside the incident, stating that she was only keeping the call going because the gas cans could be suspicious, However, even with that, the report still wasn't taken seriously.
Hunters? Okay, but I'm saying the mixture, the situation here. The situation here, this guy's wandering door to door holding cans of gasoline and a gun.
Seriously, as the dispatcher...
What are you... Like, what is the... What, they're gonna walk up to him? Oh, sorry, I was just going to fill up my car.
Hung up on her shortly after, before dispatching one single officer to the scene.
Oh my God.
An officer that never even made it there, as just moments later he was called off and sent to what was deemed to be a more pressing scene at the local senior center. Naomi's concerns were completely ignored, but despite this, she continued to watch out her window, waiting to see what Noah would do next. 4 minutes after her call with police ended, and 10 minutes after first reporting Noah's behavior, Naomi would dial 911 once again, only this time, her demeanor was far different.
I just called a few minutes ago and the guy came back out and he fired a gun at somebody and he's laying on the street.
The police chief or whoever was the person that diverted that cop away from the scene should be fired. Fired. Dude, that seems illegal to me. For you to call and the police officer to not respond is absurd. Like, that guy died because of that. Like, you could literally say that the reason this guy is in the street dead is because that cop did not respond. Yes, the guy is the reason, the dude that killed him. But, like, what the fuck?
Dead. Oh my God. You sent an ambulance too.
Naomi's worst fears had come true, as she frantically told dispatch that the man carrying the gun had just shot and killed.
And there was a more pressing matter at a fucking nursing home! What the fuck? What, was there a slip and fall when somebody was playing checkers?
Killed someone outside of her home.
Oh my God.
Okay, calm down, okay? Stay with me. I'm just putting that into the call. Is anyone in immediate danger?
No, that I can see or think. No.
In response, the operator bizarrely asks if anyone else is in danger, but Naomi, likely in a state of shock, answers no.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. I'm really not trying to make this about guns again because I really do think this is on, like, the police dispatch, like, problem. Like, the fact that they didn't get the one cop to, like, check on this. Because they would have had to call backup immediately because the guy probably would have fucking pulled his gun on the cop. But, like, dude, in New Jersey, there's a dude walking around with a fucking AR getting arrested. Getting arrested. That guy is not... Like, I know it's different states, different rules, you know, and it's what people want to vote on. It's democratic, but it's like, dude, in what world is it normal for you to walk around with 2 cans of gas and a fucking gun on your chest? And like, creepily, like, fucking wandering the neighborhood? Like, what are you doing? It's just like a showing of freedom or something? Like, what's the fucking point? Like, that's just disturbing. It's like, it's the same thing of, like, in those states, are you allowed to walk around, like, wielding a knife? Like, that's kind of, like, that's actually a question. In open carry states, can you open wield a knife? Because I don't know. But it's just, like, I feel like that wouldn't be allowed. Like, most people would agree if you're walking around holding, like, a katana, something's wrong with you. Like, if you're, like, wandering the streets with a katana, that'd be creepy. But then when it's a gun, it's not. I'm like, which one's more deadly? Like, I just don't understand. I get it if it's a hunting rifle. Like, I understand, like, you're open carrying a hunting rifle wearing camo, you're gonna go fucking duck hunting. But it's like, why are you walking the streets with a fucking assault rifle?
Before immediately realizing that Noah was heading in the direction of Platt Avenue, which was known to be a busier neighborhood.
Maybe on Platt Avenue there might be people in danger.
Naomi, I need the suspect's description. Do you know his name?
No, I don't.
Okay, is he white, black, Hispanic,
He's
Asian?
white, and he's got long curly hair coming out of his cap.
She desperately tried to relay that more people were likely in harm's way, only to be immediately proven right just seconds later.
I think, yeah, there's people outside that might be in danger up on Platt.
Okay.
Oh, I just heard another fire. Oh my God.
When she hears more gunshots, prompting the operator to once again ask,
Yeah, they need to call an ambulance or something right away.
Okay. Is anyone in immediate danger?
Only people up on Platt, maybe.
All right, I am sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay?
Okay.
It was only then that the operator would tell Naomi that police and medical personnel were finally being dispatched to the scene, but by this point, it was far too late. In the moments after Naomi had made her first 911 call, Noah Harpham would first attempt to light his house on fire using the 2 cans of gasoline, though this, however, failed and caused him to quickly shift his focus. Noah instead stepped outside and brandished his rifle, immediately pointing it directly at Andrew Mayers, who had been riding his bike in the neighborhood, and after seeing the gun, the man stopped and begged him not to shoot, to which Noah responded by pulling the trigger multiple times, killing him instantly, with Andrew Myers being the man that Naomi had seen laying dead on the street. From there, Noah began walking up the street where he would eventually see 2 women sitting on the porch of a sobriety.
This physically aggravates me, dude. This is so, like, yes, you could do this even if there wasn't, like, open carry laws and shit, but, like, they could have stopped him, but because of what was in place, they didn't care until it was too late. And then now this guy's walking around town, lighting off rounds, killing people.
Center, where local women went to get help with their drug and alcohol addictions, and upon noticing them, he immediately started shooting, striking and killing both Christina Galella and Jennifer Vasquez. Noah walked for over a mile after this before the police finally caught up with him, and when they called out for him to stop walking, Noah turned and immediately opened fire, leading to a massive shootout.
Shoot his ass on the fucking ground immediately! What are we doing? What are we doing?
Noah walked for over a mile after this before the police finally caught up with him, and when they
A mile? Dude, he's been wandering the town for 2 hours.
Called out for him to stop walking, Noah turned and immediately
They call out to him to stop walking. Just kill him.
Immediately opened fire, leading to a massive shootout.
You know he's wandering. I feel like that should be on site. You know for a fact this is the guy walking around. There's bodies in the street. He's killing people. Why are you going, put the gun down? Just kill him. Actually, no, don't kill him. Shoot him in the spine, paralyze him, right? And then, you know, fucking go and handcuff him.
When the smoke cleared, the only one struck had been Noah, who was lying dead on the pavement, marking the end of his killing spree. The investigation that followed revealed that Noah had never even met any of the 3 people he killed that day. They were all total strangers, leaving the question, why had he done it? Well, even today, there's still no clear motive, with this appearing to be a completely...
And the reason that I'm so angry is because, like, bro, from the point of view from the family of these people, it's not even, like, a reason. Like, you're the wife, husband, mother, son, daughter, whoever, of, like, this guy riding the bike. And it's like he just got shot in broad daylight from a rando that was just pissed. It's like you just ruined somebody's life that you don't even know.
Random and senseless act. But looking at his final and only posts online, Noah was
and they're never getting answers, you know, like it's like there's no closure.
Clearly very angry and seemed to be mentally unwell, which was corroborated by testimony from his parents, as they later claimed that he had anger issues and suffered from drug addiction and bipolar disorder. But what's so...
How did he get a gun? Bipolar disorder, drug addict, anger problems. Open wielding a rifle in public.
What's so unusual about this to me was that this video was published just 2 days before the killings, and it was clearly not meant to be a one-off post. It was something that he seemed genuinely excited to continue, yet not even 48 hours later, he resorted to this. What happened in that time frame may never be known, but the effects of it will last forever. And I can't help but wonder how differently this all could have gone if that initial 911 operator had just taken Naomi's report
and just fucking listen to her. It doesn't even matter. You don't even take her word, bro. There is no word to be taken. She calls, you respond.
Seriously, Noah's spree didn't start for a full 10 minutes after she started that call, which would have been more than enough time for police to intervene.
Yeah.
But instead, Noah was given all the time he needed to end 3 innocent lives.
Sue the cops? I don't even know if it's the cop, man, because the cop was responding and then he got told to divert and he has to take the command of the dispatcher who might have been taking the command of somebody else. Whoever was responsible for diverting that cop to the fucking nursing home and made that happen, fired.
It wasn't an attraction for the faint of heart.
Yeah, it might be dispatch.
Standing over
1,300
feet above the ground, the Diogar ropeway was built to take tourists up and down the Trickhut Mountain.
I mean, it's also the fact that they sent one cop, like originally. They got one guy.
In Jharkhand, India. It was the tallest cableway in the entire country, offering an unparalleled view of Diogar and the picturesque landscape around it. Because of this, videos have long since been posted on YouTube showing just how dramatic of a ride this truly is, with one such video being recorded on April 10th, 2022.
Bro, I hate ski lifts. I hate ski lifts. I hate these things. Dude, it's so fucking sketchy, man. When you go over those, like, the post lines where it goes dum dum and you shake. I swear to God, if right here, that's where the scariest part is.
That day, a woman and her family had been filming their adventure to the Tri-Cut Mountain, and were now filming a first-person view of the descent back down.
Oh my God, is the fucking thing gonna fall? Stop.
It wasn't the kind of place for anyone with a fear of heights, and the loud sounds of the car passing the support towers only added to the anxiety of the trip. But the group filming this all remained relatively calm, quietly conversing to themselves, seemingly unfazed by the spectacular height. Even enjoying it. A feeling that wouldn't last.
What's gonna happen? Are we gonna watch like another?
Without any warning, the car was met with a massive force, sending the occupants and the camera to the floor, causing the footage to go dark. In that moment, one of the ropeway's axles had dislodged, causing a failure on the pulley system, which resulted in 2 carts crashing into each other, and the rest coming to a sudden and violent halt. The impact was brutal, but somewhat surprisingly, the footage continued.
I thought I thought the cart fell out of the sky. Oh, okay. Holy shit, man. I thought that it, like, detached.
Showing just enough to reveal that the ropeway and the cabin these people were in were both still intact, before the recording came to an end. This group had survived the impact, but the nightmare was far from over. News of the collision quickly spread throughout the region, leading to the scene being flooded with rescuers and news crews alike, with everyone trying to figure out what exactly was happening, and the initial prognosis was grim. In the impact, 1 man in a separate car had been killed, and many others were left injured.
What?
In the impact, 1 man in a separate car had been killed, and many others were left injured. And making matters worse, due to the broken axle, the ropeway was now
How did they collide that fast that it killed them? I feel like this moves at like 4 miles an hour.
no longer operational, meaning that the 70+ people spread throughout the various cars were now stuck, some of whom were still suspended over 1,000 feet in the air. It was going to be an incredibly difficult rescue operation, just given the height of the ropeway alone. And ultimately, it was determined that the Indian Air Force would utilize their special top-of-the-line helicopters to fly over the cars and lower down ropes with harnesses attached to them for survivors, who then would strap themselves in and be hoisted up to the helicopter above using an electronic winch. It took hours for them to even make their first attempt, before finally trying their approach on a middle-aged man, who slid on his rescue strap and was then slowly pulled up towards safety. The footage of this is horrifying. These people were already over 1,000 feet in the air when their cars got stuck, and now they were being lifted even higher, tethered only by a single rope and a safety harness. Worst of all, it was a particularly windy day, which was made worse by the swirling of the helicopter blades, a combination that caused the man to start swinging wildly from side to side as he hung onto the rope for dear life. It was a grueling journey up, but finally the man reached the aircraft, and with safety just a few feet away, he instinctively reached his arms above his head in an attempt to grab onto the helicopter, a decision that would have disastrous effects.
Oh my God.
As he did so, his harness slid upwards and was pulled over his shoulders, and then over his arms, before eventually landing in his hands, meaning the only thing left holding him up was his own grip, as he clung to the now useless harness.
Grab!
For a minute, he dangled there, just inches away from rescue. Meanwhile, the rescue crew searched the craft for something they could use to safely hoist him in. But before they got the chance... The man slipped out of his harness, momentarily catching himself on the side of the helicopter itself. But by this point, his strength was gone, and seconds later, his grip would fail for good. Causing him to plummet approximately 2,000 feet to the ground below, killing him instantly. For those waiting to be rescued, the sight was especially horrific, as they watched the man...
I mean, no one's gonna do... No, literally now, dude, the first guy they try to save fucking falls to his death. None of them are going to fucking... How are they gonna get these people down? I'm not going on that fucking shit if I watch that guy die.
Who they thought had made it to safety, fall to the ground right in front of them. The fear they must have felt knowing that soon it would be their turn is unimaginable.
They're gonna keep going. They're gonna keep doing it.
After this, the rescue crews began making tweaks to their operation, which started to lead to a few attempts going off without a hitch. But the entire process was incredibly slow, as a full 24 hours would pass before 60-year-old Shubha Devi would finally get her chance to be removed from the car. And as she started her ascent up to the helicopter, the wind also caused her to start swinging wildly. So wildly, in fact, that the winch used to lift her suddenly stopped working, leaving her hanging there, only moving side to side rather than up towards safety. As she hung there,
lower me down to the fucking ground. What? Okay, the winch doesn't work. Bring the helicopter to the ground. I fucking slow and steady. I'll smack the ground, break a rib or two, and then I'll fucking unhook me.
Rescuers on the helicopter frantically tried to figure out what the problem with the winch was. But before they could ever get their answer, the rope...
Oh, the rope snaps. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. They should sue the fuck out of this. They should sue the Indian government for this shit, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? The goddamn military can't fucking save these people?
Suddenly snapped, causing her to free fall to the ground below. It came without any sort of warning, and from what I can find online, there isn't a definitive answer as to how this happened. But either way, it resulted in Shubha's tragic death. It took a total of 48 hours for the last of the survivors to be rescued and finally brought to safety, an unimaginable amount of time in an unimaginable position. With
2 days, they're just sitting in that fucking, like, lift.
Survivors having to watch 2 people fall to their deaths before them, unsure if they too were going to meet the same fate. Since its release, the footage has sparked some debate online, as the media actually hailed this as an...
Yo, this like really made me realize I'm not going on any of these lifts in any country that's not the US. And I'm not trying to be like judgmental when I say that, but like I'm so dead ass. I'm not like just like any rant. I'm fuck that. Holy shit. And I'm not saying the US is like not even in the US. Oh, any of the ones that are this fucking high, hell no. I'd go on a ski lift. That's why I'm not. I would still go on a ski lift. Because a ski lift, it's like, if that shit snapped, I'd fall 30 feet, break both my legs. But I'd live, you know? Like, there's people that jump off ski lifts to be dickheads, like snowboarders that fucking want to go. Like, that's different. This, hell no.
Actually hailed this as an impressive and even successful rescue operation for the Indian Air Force, while others have hit back on this, as both incidents seem to have been entirely preventable, with more people dying from the rescue than...
Not even in Europe? Yeah, in like Switzerland, I would, no. But I know that they're better built.
The accident itself. Though ultimately, there were no repercussions for the rescue crew, with the only punishments being dished out to the operating company DRIL.
Yeah, I mean, whoever the fuck designed this should just get sued, man.
Which was accused of not properly maintaining the ropeway and not following proper safety protocols. It was even alleged that when the initial crash happened, the people operating the ropeway at the time actually fled the scene and never even called authorities. But I'm not sure if this was ever...
They just left?
Actually proven. DRIL was fined over $1 million and has since been blacklisted from operating ropeways for 5 years, while the families of the deceased were given around $33,000 in compensation.
Fucking wipe my ass with $33,000. Are you serious? Are you serious? You watch your mom fall to her death and you get $30K?
Currently, there are plans to repair and reopen the ropeway. Though at this point...
Who the fuck would ever go on this rope? I mean, it's cooked. I feel like the fucking company should just fucking fall to the face of the earth. Fucking crash and burn, dude. Are you kidding me? Who the hell's gonna go back on this after they know that fucking 3 people fell to their death?
No official date has been given for the reopening.
reopening. No one's going to go on that. That's absurd. Mom's priceless, let alone 30K. No, I'm not saying there's any amount of money that justifies it, but I mean, like, you know, you getting $1 million would be like, okay, I understand them trying to make right in some way. 30K? 30 grand. Your mom's dead. 30 grand. And you paid to go on this for like a fun family trip. Oh my God, that's horrible. That is so sad. Okay.